Amada's franchise disclosure document was the most impressive one I have
Huh.
seen.
That's amazing to
You
hear.
just don't see those numbers on franchises, like that have it, relatively speaking, like a minimal investment number to get it off the ground,
To get to where that,
to
yeah, yeah.
get that where it is, and how quickly, for having been in business for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, like wow, you can get there in 2 years, like even from scratch, like that's crazy. So good for you guys for putting up the numbers.
That's awesome. So, for folks that may be looking at Amada Senior Care and talk about what has it been like to join the Amada system and go from you sign your franchise agreement and then you go through training and you're submitting a license. What has the support and training been like from the time you sign an agreement to now?
Okay. The support, the support has been wonderful because the business model is almost three businesses. It's the staffing, the placements, and the home health. So it isn't
Right.
even one, but the support in each area, you're talking to somebody who's an expert and with a ton of experience or had their own business doing the same thing and now moved to an employee at Amada. So when you're talking to somebody, you're not talking to just a salesman trying to sell a franchise. You're talking to somebody who
Actually did it.
and even more wonderful, the people who founded the company are still the people
That's right. Yeah.
running the company.
Yeah.
And that's key.
So you meet with every franchise partner that comes in and you
Yeah.
walk them through Amada University.
Yeah.
So they acquire the business and usually X weeks go
Yep,
by
yep,
and they come
yep.
out to here in Orange County,
Yeah,
right? Actually,
Like on the
right
other side of
outside
this
this
wall.
door.
Yeah, right by that window. Yeah,
by that window. And so they come to Amada University for Monday through Friday.
that's right.
And then they go back into their
Yeah,
markets.
yeah.
So I didn't ask Matt this before.
Mm.
What do you think are the three biggest questions
Ooh.
they have when they come to Amada University? And I know that once they acquire the business, there's this sort of, it's like nerve-wracking. And then they acquire the business and there's sort of like this, I did it.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah,
Right. And,
yeah.
and there's all these fears of, and I know that they see other franchise partners successful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there isn't a, will this work? It works.
Yeah.
But will I be able to execute?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But so what are the three biggest things you see from franchise partners when they come in for that?
Yeah.
Amada University?
It's a great question. And I'm going to answer it two different ways. Okay. Because I think
Is that 6 answers?
no, I'm going to try to do it in two. Maybe it's going to be a 1A, 1B, 1C, and then 2A through F.
Is it A,
Yeah.
B? Is it B,
C.
C? Is it C,
That's
D?
right. It's amazing how we have such a hard time doing this, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I think seriously, like when they come in, I think there's some very practical things that they're trying to sort out,
Yeah.
which is how do I go acquire clients, right? Like where do I go and what do I say to people to make them believe me
Mm-hmm.
that I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I acquire clients? I think number two is they do believe that like the caregiver population that's out there, although that pool is not as big as it used to be, we do a really good job of helping them bring people in.
Yeah.
So I think the second question they really ask is, okay, how do I keep them?
How do you
Right?
keep the
How do I keep my caregivers?
caregivers?
Right?
Yeah,
How do I
yeah.
keep my caregivers? Right? I
yeah.
want to make sure I'm being a good employer.
Mhm.
And then I think third is it's more about profitability. Like, am I making sure I'm billing enough and paying enough to create enough profitability for me to have a successful business? So I think that's really it. How do I go out and find the clients and be a believable, right, salesperson? How do I go out and make sure my caregivers are loved for and cared upon? And how do I keep them engaged with my organization? Ultimately, how do I create profitability?
Yeah.
Okay. But the overarching question in all of that, that they walk in, and this is my goal. Okay. This is my goal with Amada U. We spend 5 days and all we talk about is how to hire and retain caregivers, how to go make sales calls, and how to run your day-to-day
Yeah,
apps.
you cover
That's it.
exactly
I cover all
what
that.
Those
Those
three
three big-
burning questions.
And that's
Yeah.
all we talk about for 5 days.
Right.
And now I know that most of that they're not going to remember because it's 5 days of training. It's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Okay. My goal when they leave is they walk out the door on Friday and they go, I can do this. That's my goal. They
I
go,
can do this.
I can do this.
I can't do all of this.
I can't do all, but you
but
know
I
what?
can.
But I can build this business.
yeah.
This is like, I bought it because I thought I could,
Yeah.
and I believed in it.
Yeah.
And then you go through the onboarding phase and you're like, oh my gosh, like there's so much to do. Like now
Yeah.
I'm a business owner.
Yeah.
Like it's on me.
Yeah.
Then when they come to Amada University, we start telling them all these things that they have to do. And at the end, if they walk out and they go, I can do it. I'm
And you see that in
confident.
their eyes, huh?
You
At
do.
graduation day, they're
Yeah.
like, you know what?
I can do it.
I can do this.
I can do
think
this.
I can do this.
And then they
Yeah.
go back and they open their doors and they skin their knees and they get kicked in the shins figuratively and they have some successes and failures.
Yeah.
But at the end, if they leave Amada U and they go, no, I made the best decision.
Mm-hmm.
I picked the right company, the right model for me because I'm passionate about serving folks while at the same time building a wonderful business.
Yeah.
They walk out and they go, I can't wait to get to the office on Monday.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
So placements, and for those of you who may not know, if you're kind of new to looking at Amada Senior Care, we have home care, sending on medical caregivers to seniors' homes. We have placements, which is helping a senior find an assisted living, a boarding care, an Alzheimer's care unit, any of these places that are privately paid. And then you also have staffing, which actually you come from the staffing industry. So, and we just started focusing more on staffing, but really the placement side is amazing because it helps families find the right place for them to live in. So talk a little bit about placements. What was it like to start doing placements and how's that going?
Yeah. Well, I remember way back when we were going through the process and before Discovery Day, we actually were speaking with you and we're saying that, how long does the license take? Like, what can we do, until that comes? And you're like, hey, you can do placements while you're waiting for your license. And we're like, oh, that's no brainer. Let's do that. And so we really just, right when we signed, it was like, okay, let's figure out the facilities. Let's just go in there. Let's have the conversations. You figure out your approach. You have some things that you're like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, or I should have said this.
Right. Yeah.
But you need to go through that process. You need to just get in there and do it. You don't need to like master everything. It's just sometimes you just got to
get out there, right?
Get out there and do it and show up. Just show up and it'll all figure itself out. But yeah, we started with placements and we were able to develop some relationships. Took some time. But now we average about 2 placements a month, and it really helps the business because when I go in, I'm going in early to these facilities because a social worker or case manager is saying, hey, Corey, can you talk to this family? They don't know if they want placements or in-home care. So I do a cost analysis, and I let them know, okay, if you're going to do in-home care with this amount of hours, this is what it's going to cost. This is what it's going to cost for a boarding care or assisted living or a placement. And they're able to make better decisions quicker. And so that's been a very big tool for the facility if they have me go in early. So I'm catching them a lot earlier in the process and really just having those conversations. And some of them are hard. We're sitting down with family and some are at the realization that where they're at, some, didn't really think that far ahead. And now we're having those conversations. And so you really have to make sure that you're coming in as kind of a voice of reason and expert at what we do. As well as have compassion for the situation because some of these people, they're going from they were fine until an episode happened.
That's right.
Maybe a fall, maybe a stroke.
It's a new life, a new normal. They were fine yesterday.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
And so I had a client that I was working with. He was a teacher, and he was a music teacher, and he was gonna go pick up his mom on Christmas, and so he got a flat tire. Went out to change his tire and had a stroke right there.
Oh my gosh!
And
wow.
he was a healthy guy, and he was totally fine, no support. To now needing care and 24-hour care until he can get better. And so mentally, that's a lot, And so for me to come in that moment in his life, you have to make sure that you're coming in as sometimes a sounding board. Sometimes just, having that compassion and comfort for him and his family and then being able to really just help them navigate that situation. And so I hold myself accountable and have a lot of responsibility, to make sure that we're helping these families out. And so, placements, has been something that has helped us have these bigger discussions with the family. So.
Man, that's amazing. It's so cool that you didn't wait. You just get in there, start doing placements right away.
Just got to do it.
And then their third pain point is getting veterans enrolled in VA healthcare. There's tons of benefits out there for the veterans, and a lot of the senior veterans are not enrolled in VA healthcare. 48% of veterans are not enrolled.
Like that number is insane.
It's insane.
And I heard that what you're finding is sometimes they're not because they think if they do, they won't get their Medicare benefits.
Exactly.
Or they just don't even know about it, right?
So-
They don't even know to ask.
Yeah, so VA healthcare is a benefit, not health insurance, and that's where a lot of
Interesting.
people are confused. So you get VA benefits. That means it doesn't mean you're going to give up your wife's Blue Shield insurance.
Right. You've earned it.
right?
It's yours. It's
So it is a benefit. So they
Yeah.
don't understand. You keep your private pay if you still private insurance if you want, or you can go to TRICARE, which is a VA insurance. But VA benefits healthcare is just a benefit.
Yeah.
So you may go to your private doctor and for hearing aids, like, oh, you need hearing aids, but instead of paying it through your insurance, you can get that for free. Most if you go to the VA, if you're enrolled in VA healthcare.
and veterans just don't know that.
They just don't know that. They don't know it. And so we have a lot of educating we need to do in our community. And the VA is reaching out to providers, to different in the community, saying,
Like they
can you
want
please
our help.
They realize that they changed their tune.
Yeah.
And they want us to educate the community's veterans, families that they do truly care. They're putting a lot of great things in place. And they need our help to spread the word. And that's what we're doing. We are chipping away at it. We are getting there. We're making a difference. If we all can do that in our community, that's exactly what we're designed to do.
I think it's so cool because this is you and I know this, but it's being involved in a business where the more money you make in it, the more service you're providing.
Yes.
And it's not just, I don't mean to disparage other, like, roofing is amazing. Putting in a roof of somebody's house, and high-fiving them when the roof is over, that's amazing, right? Like, there's a lot of amazing industries, but the fact that 14% of our revenues come from taking care of one of our veterans, right?
Almost 15%.
Almost 15%. Like that is just it. And knowing that for sure, what's crazy is knowing that is reducing suicide rates.
Mm-hmm.
It's increasing mental health and your happiness, right? When you have somebody there with you,
Yes.
ensuring that you're not alone, your meals and your companionship, like so many things that are unbelievably connected to just mental health, right? Is that we're providing that we are able to give that to so many veterans. Like, what an amazing way to make money.
It is. And it's like I tell the franchise partners when I talk to them, when I train them about how to educate the veterans and the families and the healthcare professionals about the various benefits that they have to offer. And then I hear the stories, how we're impacting those veterans. I have tears in my eyes almost every day, but it's good. It's a feel good that we are making a difference. And these veterans, when they meet the caregivers, or even our franchise partners, they just it's like family to them.
Yeah.
And it's truly it's an amazing feeling. So I tell our franchise partners, when you're out in the community, you're not selling, you're serving. You're serving the
Ooh, I like that.
community,
You're not selling,
and
you're
because
serving.
some people could be, if they have an operations background but they don't have a sales background, we'll
yeah.
help them. Our sales department, our training support does that. But if you put the serving hat on, you can feel confident that you're doing good. You have a purpose, right? You don't
Yeah.
feel like you're coming across salesy.
Yeah.
Learning. Can you kind of explain why have you been so determined to stay with a caregiving company, meaning providing care for the seniors in their homes with non-medical caregivers? Why that lane? Why not go into dialysis or other home health or medical things? Why not?
Well, it's pretty simple. You stick with what works, right? You got to stick with what works, and you got to understand the trends in the market. Most people don't realize that if you go into the hospital, over 95% of the discharges that come out of a hospital require some form of ADL, activities of daily living.
Mm-hmm. Dressing, bathing,
dressing, grooming.
What we do.
95%.
That's
huge. Huge.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, you're guaranteed that they are going to need a caregiver. So, once you understand, like, who pays for care, where is care going to be delivered, who delivers the care, how is care reimbursed. Once you figure out those big pieces and you kind of break it down and you get into the minutia, if you will, like there's a huge opportunity, and it's continuing to the market is expanding daily.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and never every day it never goes down.
Oh my
There's
gosh.
no downward trend this year or next year. It just
every year the opportunity gets bigger and bigger, and now it's getting to the point where we can't even put our arms around it.
What would you say to, and honestly, what would you say to somebody who now in 2025 is looking to acquire an Amada franchise?
Join Amada. It's the greatest thing in the world. I have a large family, and my kids always, I was a stockbroker, and my kids would say, Dad, what do you do? And, it's hard to explain. And now my kids, I say, we take care of seniors in their homes. It's the greatest thing in the world. I think I have 4 kids that work for us right now, and it's been awesome. I have 3 nurses that work for me, and it's been amazing. It's been a great career. I remember some of my boys have worked for us as like receptionists in the summertime. And I remember calling one time, and my he answers the phone. He's going, I said, Kyle. He says, oh, hey, Dad, Amada Senior Care. I said, oh my gosh. But it's a great
awesome.
business. Going to some of the senior events with my daughters has been amazing because seniors love kids. And when they're respectful.
Your daughter's a nurse.
I have
How many?
5 daughters that are nurses, and I have 5 sons, 2 doctors and 3 dentists. So it's been a great thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Did you? I don't know if you added that up. That is 10.
children. Yeah.
That is 10 kids.
Yeah.
You've been busy.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. But I will tell you the great thing about my company, I've never missed a dinner. I coached Little League baseball for 35 years and Y basketball for 34 years. I was able to coach all my kids in every sport that I wanted to. And so it's been a great job. It's been a great career. And it's been something that, when you sit down at the end of the day, you think back of the day, you think, it was a good day.
I love it, man. Thank you. You start in 2016.
Yeah.
And you've built, listen, for somebody who'd never owned a business before,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't go into numbers, but you are probably among one of the biggest home care companies in the United States at this point. You're and not only that, you did it in big bad Chicago, in the North Shores of Chicago.
I will say
this is not a small market.
We have 1,200 home care agencies just in one of my counties that we serve. Right.
1,200.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you do it?
Well, first of all, I was given a wonderful model and a mission and a brand that I could 100% commit to.
Mm-hmm.
And that came from Amada and from Tafa and from Chad. And really meeting those 2 men really changed my life and my perspective on what I could do.
Yeah.
And they really gave me these wonderful tools to help my success. I say to my husband all the time, I never would be as big as I am today if it weren't for those 2 and the vision that they had. It's true. It is true. And I'm darn good at my job. I am darn good at it. But they gave me things I would not have been able to do so quickly, to ramp up as quickly as I could.